fellow producer, you are wise for coming here for some advice. Grab a drink and call your mate, it is time to learn how to automate. Hi! Hey, my name is Sauer, but you can call me Milan. Today we're going to talk about automation clips and how you can use them to get more instinct breaks, better buildups, more atmosphere, groovier kick rolls, and how you can utilize them to create whatever hooked up ideas you had. Before we jump in techniques, we have some basics to cover. Automation clips are a way to change knobs over time in your song. Anytime you hear a sound transforming or getting more intense, it may or may not be an automation clip. In FL Studio, if you want to create an automation clip, you can right-click whatever knob on whatever plugin or mix parameter you want and select automation clip. If the plugin is not native, however, there is a fat chance this won't do. In that case, wiggle the knob you want to automate, go up to this transformer nipple looking thing, right-click and create automation clip. The clever ones amongst you may now have noticed that you created automation clips longer than whatever rants your parents had about your music taste. These are annoying to work with in most situations. So what I always recommend to do before creating any automation clip is looping whatever length you want your clip to be. You can always make them longer or shorter later, but this is a nice time saver. Automation clips can easily fuck up your track if you don't handle them with care. To prevent knobs to get into or stay in positions they shouldn't, it is always recommended to set the knob you want to tweak in a neutral position. For a lead cutoff, this could be 100% open, pitch bend somewhere in the middle, and Switzerland in the Alps. This doesn't fix all the problems, as you still need to handle them with care. In most cases, it is best not to touch the 2 points on the start and end it usually spawns with. For the actual tweaking, you simply create new points by right-clicking wherever you want them to be and dragging them for more accurate control. You can even right-click and type in the value if that suits your personality. You may be wondering where to get great sounds like the ones I use in my videos. Look no further than my description, where you can find tried and tested HARDSTYLE Serum and Silent One banks, info on affordable private lessons, socials and contact info. You can also find 3 great and free ways to support videos like this one. I hope you'll consider it, as it helps out a ton. Now that the boring part is out of the way, let's use automation to make a break more interesting. You can probably automate 95% of the knobs or plugins in some useful way, but sooner or later you'll get some favorites. For me, I like to automate the cutoff on plugs to slightly make them a bit more intense over a long time. This makes your boring chords feel a lot more interesting for 0 extra creative input. For ARPs you can do the same, but let's try something weird to prove a point. Let's automate distortion and maybe a fruity balance to make up for the increasing volume. Now for the drums, let's give them a high cut that slowly opens up by automating either frequency or volume depending on preference. Volume is a bit more subtle than frequency, so pick the first one if you want to make it smooth, and frequency if you're going for something more on the nose. So before automation, and after. This is a nice but rather basic way of using automation. It is time to learn the magic voodoo. You can multilink a ton of parameters to the same clip. Make your automation, and for the knob you want to link, on native just right click and multilink to controller. For third party, wiggle, transformer nipple, multilink. These both open the same window. Click on internal controller and find your clip. If you have a lot of them, the most recent will be all the way at the bottom. Ignore this remove conflicts knob. This will delink all previous knobs from the clip, making all the work you did before it essentially useless. I hear some of you ask out loud to your screen, why would you want 2 or more parameters linked to the same clip? And while I'm glad you asked, you shouldn't talk out loud to your screen. This feature is very useful for pitch bends on leads, for example, or cutoff filters on leads, or any other situation where you'd make a couple of nearly identical clips. It's a huge time saver. Did you know FL Studio automations all have a built-in LFO controller? Yep. That is as sick as it sounds, assuming you know what an LFO does. In case you don't, LFO stands for Low Frequency Oscillator. Just like a normal oscillator you'll find in the synthesizer, this creates a customizable wave. The low frequency bit, however, indicates that it's a bit too slow to be able to hear it on its own. So this is used to control stuff like panning, volume and pitch maybe? I don't know, I only use this for panning and volume. Now isn't this neat for build-ups? Automation clips are also insanely versatile to make your drops pop. A sharp low cut on your kicks could make a sick FX. Maybe you want your punch to have delayed reverb. Automate it. Or maybe you remove all the reverb and delay from your leads to make a kick roll sound even better. I'm gonna leave you with a couple of examples with on-screen explanation. But before I do that, if you learned something or if you think I'm kind of cute, please consider subscribing. Comment about your favorite automation clip uses and feel free to suggest new video topics. Let's help each other make better music, because SoundCloud is shitty enough already. You can find my favorite sound banks, mastering services, private lessons, custom melodies and whatever in the description. It was a true pleasure to be your host once again. Till next time.
Simulation.